How's it going, movie fans? Pulling off a successful or even good movie trilogy is no easy task. Achieving a perfect one, almost impossible. There is often at least one installment that lets it down. Put that alongside the fact that successful films are prone to spawning sequel upon sequel until everyone eventually loses interest, it can be a challenge stopping at the right time. That's why I take my hat off to the best of the best in this list. Over the next 6 months we will see the release of the third installment in 4 separate franchises, with John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Angel Has Fallen, and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Here are the Firewall's top 10 movie trilogies. At number 10 is the Three Flavors Cornetto Trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. These British comedy films, directed by Edgar Wright and written by Wright and Simon Pegg. Pegg also stars in all 3 alongside Nick Frost. Wright specifically reworked the third film to include themes and references similar to the first 2 in order to make it a clear trilogy. The running time is 329 minutes, and the Three Flavors Cornetto Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.4 out of 10. At number 9 is the Three Colors Trilogy, Blue, White and Red. Primarily a French language trilogy, the 3 colours, blue, white and red, released in that order, represent the French flag and French politics. The films were directed and co-written by Krzysztof Kieślowski. Red, the third installment, was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. The running time is 289 minutes, and the Three Colours Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.4. At number 8 is the Godfather Trilogy, Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. This crime trilogy gave starring roles to Marlon Brando, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. The films won 9 of the 31 Academy Awards for which they were nominated, including 2 wins for Best Actor and 2 wins for Best Picture. The running time is 539 minutes, and the Godfather Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.5. At number 7 is the Noriko Trilogy, Late Spring, Early Summer and Tokyo Story. During 1949 and 1953, Japanese director Yasuhiro Otsu co-wrote and directed what would come to be known as the Noriko Trilogy due to the use of a character called Noriko in each of the films, who is played by Setsuko Hara, but there are differences in the character in all 3 films. The running time is 409 minutes, and the Noriko Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.6. At number 6 is the Before Trilogy, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset and Before Midnight. These romantic dramas were written and directed by Richard Linklater and stars Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy as 2 strangers who meet on a train and decide to spend the evening together. There were 18 years between the release of the first and third films. The running time is 290 minutes, and the Before Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.7. At number 5 is the Monty Python Holy Trinity, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Life of Brian and the Meaning of Life. This trilogy consists of the iconic comedy troupe's 3 original feature films, which put comedic twists on history and society. The Holy Grail is based on the legend of King Arthur, Life of Brian on the story of Jesus, and The Meaning of Life is a series of sketches about life. The running time is 292 minutes, and the Monty Python Holy Trinity has the Firewall rating of 8.7. At number 4 is the Dollars Trilogy, A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Also known as the Man with No Name Trilogy or the Blood Money Trilogy, this series of spaghetti westerns were all directed by Sergio Leone, but were not originally intended to be a trilogy. They star Clint Eastwood as a character commonly referred to as the Man with No Name. The running time is 409 minutes, and the Dollars Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.7. At number 3 is the original Star Wars trilogy, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi. The Star Wars episodes have been split into 3 trilogies, the originals, the prequels, and the sequels, but I don't think there would be much argument that the original trilogy starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher will end up being the superior of the 3. The running time is 376 minutes, and the original Star Wars trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.8. At number 2 is the Dark Knight Trilogy, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Directed by Christopher Nolan, written by Christopher and Jonathan Nolan, and starring Christian Bale as Batman, the films depict the lifespan of the Dark Knight from his origins through to a broken and beaten Bat whose years of crime fighting are catching up with him. The running time is 456 minutes, and the Dark Knight Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 8.8. At number 1 is the Lord of the Rings Trilogy, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Elijah Wood, Viggo Mortensen, and Ian McKellen star in this Peter Jackson directed movie adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's epic fantasy novel. The films were award-winning machines, winning 34 major awards, and The Return of the King won the Academy Award for Best Picture. The running time is 558 minutes, and the Lord of the Rings Trilogy has the Firewall rating of 9.2. Thanks for watching. Next week I'll be counting down the Firewall's top 10 Ian McKellen movies. Don't forget to subscribe for more top 10s and reviews.